Today we're going to be replacing an upper control arm on my Infiniti. And here's a quick how-to. All right, first step, jack it up, take the wheels off. First order of business is get this cotter pin out. Might have to use some PB Blaster or WD-40, whatever it is, to break the rust. Worst case, just cut these off, cut the ends off and yank it out. All right, so once you've got your cotter pin out, or mostly out, whatever you can do, next is to undo this bolt right here. Mine's is 17. I've seen some people say 18, but figure out what size, and then we're just gonna start loosening it. Now, if you ran into an issue where the actual stud started to spin in there after you tried to knock this bolt loose, well, number one, you might need to load the suspension and jack it up just a little bit. Maybe it'll take some load off it a little bit. Maybe that's where I fucked up. But anyway, the way I am resolving this issue is I had to tear up the actual boot. There's a little bit of a rounded joint right there. It's something that a grip, something like a needle nose plier can grab onto. Wish it was a nut, it would be a lot easier, but you're fighting like 50 foot-pounds of torque, so it can be really hard to even hold this and then be able to get it off. But after like 20 minutes of me just fighting back and forth with it, I'm actually starting to get it now. 17 now. 17 on the bottom. I got really lucky. Oh, there she goes. That boot was destroyed. It's probably supposed to be a little bit stiffer, I don't know. But just know it's time to go. That boot was toast anyway. Okay, so to loosen these two back bolts, use a 14 mil. In my case, they're pretty tough. I mean, most cases they're going to be pretty tough. So if you can't get a ratchet back there, which I couldn't fit, is the heads were too fat. Use a 14 mil. If you have an extended version that'll give you more leverage, you probably won't need to do this. But in my case, since I have a a regular length one, I had to use a breaker bar. And here I say thanks to the engineers for making the bolts just long enough to where they can't clear the shock. Okay, it is now nighttime, as you can see. Finally got it off. Literally had to disconnect the strut tower, top and the bottom of it, because of course it's been so long since that's just been taken off. It's probably original from the factory that it wouldn't even come off from just one end. So I had to unbolt that just to get the sides off and get those bolts out. And now here she is, the old upper control arm. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at her. Messed up. Anyway, next I have to take off this cone, this top hat, because I will have to reuse it for this on the new control arm. All right, put on there. This is the new one. As you can see, it's way stiffer. Way stiffer. Which I suppose maybe that's how it's supposed to be. Can't even move that, John. So yeah, this one is shot. All right. So using a ball joint remover tool, I was able to squeeze this. This is a ball joint remover tool, by the way. Use the underside like that, and then the top side would, sit on top of the bolt, or stud, whatever. And as you tighten the bolt, the top side would squeeze it. It'll go under a lot of tension, and that bottom side is going to push it up. I wish I was recording, but now I can start to finish the job. Put this right in. not too much space to play with. There we go, there we go. Come on, baby, make it easy for me. Whew. Okay, start turning, let's put it in there. I'll snug these up. I'm not gonna torque them to spec until everything is together, and then I'll load the suspension, since that's what the torque specs call for. These bolts on. Next is the shock tower. Top and bottom needs to be connected. Connect this to this, and put the wheel back on, and we're good to go. Alright, now that everything is back together, oh my god, that was a little pain in the ass, getting that shock back up there. Anyway, this nut right here gets torqued to 47 foot-pounds. The back two bolts, 1 and 2, get torqued to 50 foot-pounds. And the bottom shock mount bolt gets torqued to 67 foot-pounds. So as you're getting ready to torque the suspension down, put a jack under the lower control arm and raise it to about the natural car height. And this will help prevent premature bushing wear. Okay, so my upper control arms didn't even have a hole for the cotter pins to go through, so I just torqued it down like an extra couple foot-pounds just to be safe. But if yours do have the hole, then add the cotter pin. The last step before putting the wheels back on is to torque down these strut bolts to 25 to 30 foot-pounds.